Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the ArchSoc talk for April. Tonight it's a bit of an admin session, and partly I'll be giving the second half of this talk, going through some of the back office things that we'd like all of our members to know. So hopefully we'll have a good questions session at the end, because there's some things about getting your digital bulletins we'd like to go over with everyone. And hopefully other members who haven't logged on tonight can re-watch this and get some tips about cleaning their spam and managing to get their digital bulletins. We also fortunately have Patricia Groenewald with us tonight, and she's the student lead on the SAAS Council at the moment. You've probably read her bio, and she's always on the lookout for opportunities for students to engage with other archaeologists and interested members of the public. She's been helping us enormously with ideas, and she's on the SAAS subcommittee to look at ways in which we can improve our reach and our membership, particularly with the younger members of the society. So I'd like Patricia to take over from here, and then we've also got a little video of some of the students that received a prize membership earlier. I think it was the end of last year, and we've got little thank you videos that we've edited together for you. So Patricia, you'd like to take over and give us your presentation. I think I see your presentations at the background at the moment, so we'll just wait for you to send it through. You might have to just click reshare. I think I see it's kind of gone to the background.
Okay. Sorry, I lost you for a little bit, so I'm not sure if the connection died a little bit.
No, we can hear you fine.
Okay, cool. Okay, can you see my presentation?
Not yet. Maybe just click reshare on your end, and then it should pop up again. I think we might have lost Patricia. So I'm going to just try and get her back on there, and let's see if I can get her back. I think she's frozen. Sorry about this, everyone. So what I might do then is I'll just message Patricia quickly to reconnect, and then try and get her in. So just bear with me for a couple of minutes. Sorry about this. Okay, what I might do then while we wait for her to rejoin is to start with my presentation, and then we may just get that out of the way in the beginning then. So let's do that. And I believe people can't hear me. Let me just check back with the stream. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I think I've managed to fix it. Okay. And I think that is the presentation coming through now. And it's just update that there. Okay, great. And I'm just going to message Patricia. Okay. All right. Okay, people can hear me, and sorry about that interruption. I'm going to continue now with my end. Yes, so what I'm about to go through are some of the system updates that we've been making to the system side of the society. There have been a few changes since about 2016, actually. And, we've been slowly updating the website, and we've been working on the account system. So there's been various things that have happened in the back office, and some of these things affect you guys as members. So the first thing is the accounting system, and many of you have been receiving the online notices which go out, the subscription reminders, on the 1st of January every year. Those are automated, and they are generated by our account system. And that came into place in 2017. We also worked on the website and upgraded the look and feel and some of the functionality around the website back in 2016 and 17. And in fact, have merged the archaeology.org.za domain name with the archaeologysa.coza domain. So those have all been unified last year into one archaeology.org.za domain name. And we also post weekly news articles to the front page of the website. Sometimes only bi-weekly, but we try and find something of interest on a weekly basis. Towards the end of 2019, we sent out an online survey asking members about their preferences for a printed or digital copy of the bulletin. And most of the members responded to this questionnaire. And we had about a 60-40 split in membership, 60% for the digital copy only, versus about 40% of the members who wanted to keep the printed copy of the bulletin. So using that information, we've changed the print run from 2020 onwards and have been sending out printed copies to those members who opted for that option. And everybody receives a digital copy of the bulletin via email. We also send out the digging stick digitally through the same system. The back issues of the digging stick are also available on the archaeology.org.za website on the link in the presentation. So you can find this under the resources tab of the website, under the digging stick page as well. So all the issues are added there as well if you've missed an issue of the digging stick. But up to this stage, we've been posting all the digging sticks to the members, and only international members will be. There will be a change in the postage from this year onwards for those members. There's a national Facebook page that we created this year for the SAAS. There are also branch level pages which have been in existence for much longer, for the Western Cape, Trans-Carib, and the KZN branches. We've linked up to all of those branches, but we aim to put a lot more effort into the national page as well, notifying people about events and important information, and then that will also filter out to the branches as well. In May last year, we started this YouTube live channel, which was in response to the COVID-19 lockdowns. And so far, only the Western Cape branch has organized talks, but we're expecting other branches to use the service, and then people from all over the country can attend the talks, as well as our international members. A lot of people are also watching the talks afterwards, just using the normal YouTube video options. We have a YouTube channel page, and that's this link below there. You can also find us by just searching for S A Archaeological Society Talks. So those are some of the digital changes we've made on the back end and back office. But there are a lot of things we're also working on at the moment. So Natalie Swanepoel is currently setting up an Instagram account, and we are trying to work on improving our social media presence. So that's something to look out for this year. We've also got a subcommittee that's working on a content strategy. So we'd like to bolster our membership and highlight the initiatives that we've been taking and try and reach people and find out what people are responding to, why they are members. There are different reasons for everyone joining the society. And using these tools that we've taken on, we hope to improve our ability to provide a better service to everybody. And one of the things that will be key to this is to standardize the messaging that goes out on our platforms. So, advance notice of our talks, links that go out through all the different portals. So if you're a Facebook person, or if you're an email person, or if you're a website person, you will still get the message that, there's something that will be of interest to you. One of the new systems that we're setting up is called Civi CRM. This is a plugin that we can install to our website, and this will take over our membership management system. We currently have an offline system that our assistant secretary uses to manage the members, and this will completely replace that. And the big advantage of using this is that all of our members will have access to a small self-service page where they can update their own details. So if your email address changes, or if your home address changes, you can go in there yourself and change just certain key information, or you can update whether you'd like the digital or printed copy of the digging stick and or the South African Archaeological Bulletin. So we're hoping to roll that out also in the coming months. This is also a system which will take over the automated reminders for the renewals each year. So this is going to make it a little bit easier for our assistant secretary to produce those reminders than the current system that we've got. Some of the problems we've been having with the digital SAAB and TDS emails is that the emails are going to spam or to people's junk folders. So each sort of quarter or so twice a year, there's the new SAAB. We prepare that into a series, sort of a MailChimp newsletter format. And this has been going out to all members. So there's about 720 odd emails that are generated by the system. And for the most part, I think most people are receiving those. But there have been a significant number of people reporting that they haven't received the link or haven't received the email to their digital copy of the SAAB. So once we investigated it, we found that it was in most cases, there was an email sitting in the junk folder or the spam folder, and people weren't aware of this and sort of ignored the email and weren't able to access it. So, so there are a couple of things you need to know. So one is that all members are receiving a digital SAAB email. So even if you didn't choose the digital version, you will still receive an email on the email address that we have for you. And it's worth keeping track of that and at least acknowledging that you received it and make sure that it doesn't go to your spam folder. If you haven't received it, please just report the fact that you haven't received it to the secretary at archaeology.org.za, and we'll gladly email you directly with your digital copy of the SAAB or the TDS. As I say, the TDS is on the website, so you can simply click and download those. But the digital SAABs, once they've gone out through the digital mailing system, they will only be available again through the JSTOR system. So, as I say, for members, for paid up members, we will happily, send you a digital SAAB directly. But in general, we use JSTOR for all of our archives of the Bulletin. So going forward, we're hoping that the Civi CRM system will heavily reduce this spam problem that we're encountering. With Civi CRM, we have a lot more control over the settings and some of the things that will hopefully make your mail clients see our mails as valid emails rather than potential marketing emails, which is, I think, part of the problem. So this is a screenshot of an email that I received earlier. I think it was early in this year. This is the latest copy of the Bulletin. And there's a little blurb about which bulletin it is, and then there are links to the high res and low res versions, or the medium resolution versions of the Bulletin. And you can see those links listed in the page. The WeTransfer link is the high res version, so that's a much larger download, and that expires after about a week after sending out the link. And so in general, the medium res one will be still valid and you can download that at any time. But if you want to access the high resolution version, which is not terribly different from the medium resolution version, then make sure you go there to the high res link on the WeTransfer link and download that before that link expires. At the bottom of that email, below the copyright notice, you'll see some links there, and these are the things that are generated by the MailChimp system, and this is very similar to other bulk mailing, emailing applications. And one of those is update your preferences, and one of them is unsubscribe from this list. Now, hopefully very few or none of you are unsubscribing, because that will mean you're blocking the emails for your digital copies of the SAAB. So please don't unsubscribe. But update your preferences is currently a link which would take you to a page where you could update your details. Now, this is going to change slightly. As I say, with the Civi CRM system, you will receive a similar link at the bottom of the emails from us, which will take you to your page where you can update your details. So I'm saying it or mentioning it here because it'll be a similar system to updating your details, even with the new application, which will replace MailChimp. So it's just a simple matter of finding an email from the society and going to the link in that email to find the link to your preferences if your address changes. So the spam management, this is a screenshot of Gmail. You need to have the spam folder visible, and this is sometimes invisible depending on your settings. You may end up with the spam folder turned off in your Gmail settings if you use Gmail. If you are using Outlook, you'll typically see something called junk email or junk mail. And that's where some of the email might pop into, and you may find some of the SAAS emails sitting in there. If you are using an older mail service, perhaps your own domain name, something like MWeb, there are other ones. They have a webmail service for your email, and typically Horde email. There are other ones as well. There'll be a web link, and it's hardly ever used, but it is quite obscure to get into your webmail version of your email, where you're probably using a desktop client to download your email, you need to log into your webmail and check the spam settings there, and you may find an email from the SAAS sitting in your junk mail on the webmail. And then you need to unmark it to spam and say it's not spam, and then it will go through to your normal email. So check out those settings, depending if you're using Gmail or Google or Outlook, Office 365, Yahoo. They're all very similar to each other. They're web clients to your email. Or if you're using a desktop client to an older email service, you may have to go through this step. Again, if you're having problems, please just contact us and let us know if you're stuck. We will gladly email these digital SAAB to you directly. One thing that we will do as well is when there is a digital version that has just gone out, we will post that notice to the front page of the website. So if you're wondering if you're missing an issue, go to the website and you will see a notice posted on the homepage announcing that there's been a new issue that has gone out with the mailing system. And if you're missing that the email, again, as I say, email the secretary and we will send it to you directly, and we'll maybe help carry out a little bit of an investigation on your settings to see whether it's got stuck in your spam folder. Great. Well, that's it from my side. I'm going to hopefully get Patricia back. So let's just bear with me for a second. Okay. Right. I think Patricia's back. That's good. Yep, I can hear you. And Patricia, you're back. Okay, great. So if you could share your presentation.
Okay. Let's just see. Share screen, application. I'll get there.
It's okay. I went ahead and did my section. So
cool.
Hopefully that got through. I couldn't multitask while I was giving it. So
yes, I managed to come in, and I saw that you were coming through clearly again. So let me just check that I'm sharing the right one. Can you see that?
Hopefully it comes through soon. Let's see. Okay, you're definitely not frozen. I did see last time you froze, so that's not the case this time. Okay. I don't see a presentation coming through though.
Hang on, let me try this again. Okay. Aha. Can you see that?
Not yet. I wonder if I should share your presentation. Hopefully it's not too different to the one you got.
Is that the one on the PDF?
Yeah, the one on the PDF.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay, let me do that, and then I'll just scroll along as we go through. Okay, so let's do that, and I will share that. Great. And hopefully that's coming through. Seems to have frozen a little bit on my end as well.
My presentation just doesn't want to be shown today.
No. Let's see. Let's try. Let's close that, and I'm gonna see if I can. Okay, right. So let's try this again, and Okay, I think we've got your presentation up. Okay, Patricia, take it away.
Okay, cool. So as Nick said, I'm the student representative for the Archaeological Society. And basically what I'm going to do in this presentation is just give you some of the backgrounds to the ideas that we've got for students and what we've done this year so far, and then what we've kind of got planned for the coming year. So to start off with, I think we're all familiar with what the Society is. We're a group of people who's really enthusiastic about archaeology, and we want to share what we learn with other archaeologists, and then also with members of the public who are interested in what we do. And that's why we belong. And so, how do students actually contribute to this? Well, obviously, as we're doing our studies, we're doing research, we're getting involved in digs with various researchers from South Africa and even around the world. The picture on the slide is of me excavating in Botswana, getting to know some of the Iron Age sites over there. And so we get to interact with other students from other countries, and we get to share our knowledge. And the Society is a great platform for doing that. 2020 has been a rather virtual year. So we've got a new bulletin cover. We've tried to keep up with all the news through the digging stick, the Facebook pages, and the YouTube channels. Lots of interesting talks have been happening last year and this year. If we go to the next slide, we also had one student initiative that we came up with last year with the 75th year of the Archaeological Society, was to create a prize for students who were nominated by the department as the most enthusiastic archaeologists to receive a free membership for a year. So Nick is going to just share some videos of these students introducing themselves. And congratulations to these students. It's really a great achievement.
Great, so I'm going to play that video. So let's pull that in. And all right, here we go. I'm not sure it's pushing through. Let me just hide that as well. Okay, let's try that again. I'm just going to try and re-display the video.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rosina Owaitsira Maruma. I come from Botswana and I completed my studies last year, August, at University of Botswana. I would like to see the society growing, carry more research in different parts of Africa, excavating and analyzing material culture.
Gosh, I think we're having
from different parts of Africa, of course. And
terrible technical issues tonight. I don't know, the video doesn't seem to have played.
My name is Paulette Jairo.
That is really quite annoying. I'm not sure why it's not playing.
Currently studying archaeology.
Okay, no, it's playing.
Level 3-1. It is my wish if the society became active on all social media platforms, that is Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, so that the society and the community could engage continuously. So we sharing information about archaeology, keeping the society, keeping the public informed about what is trending in archaeology.
Hello everyone, my name is Imogen Grantham and I'm one of the students that won the Archaeological Society membership prize last year. I am 22 years old and I am a third year student at the University of South Africa, majoring in archaeology and anthropology. For me, as far as what I would like to see from the Society in the coming years, I really enjoyed my time on the field schools with UNISA in 2019. And this is something I would really like to do more of. Workshops on lab work techniques and excavation techniques would be something I would find very useful and very interesting. And I know a lot of my friends who are interested in archaeology as a hobby rather than a career would also be very inspired by these sorts of workshops.
Hello. My name is Gemma Poretti and I'm currently doing my honours in archaeology and environmental science at the University of Cape Town. So I think the Society could play a very important role in terms of sharing accessibly its crucial knowledge and ideas, and not just in sharing, but also learning from and gaining insight and perspective. So yes, I suppose what I would be keen to see is some kind of breaking down of this barrier between technical academia, technical archaeology, and the public society. And I think this is really where students could come in.
Hello everyone, my name is Lucy Richards in Bartley West at Northern Cape Province. I study at SAAS Council University doing honors in archaeology. What I like about the organization is that it helps me on my knowledge and gaining the skills in the archaeological practicals and theory. First, I like the articles and how they are helpful, and the society also helped me to boost my resume, and I would like to say again thank you for the society.
Good day. My name is Hannah Monroe and I am an archaeology honours student at the University of Wits in Johannesburg. I am most looking forward to engaging with the digging stick and the lectures and seminars provided by this membership. And hopefully in the future this will allow me to engage in fieldwork opportunities if COVID permits.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rosina Owaitsira. I come from Botswana and I completed my studies last year, August, at University of Botswana. I would like to see the society growing, carry more research in different parts of Africa, excavating and analyzing material culture from different parts of Africa, of course, and publishing legit information on the archaeology of Africa.
My name is Paulette Jairo, a student at Midland State University, Zimbabwe, currently studying archaeology, cultural heritage and museum studies, level 3-1. It is my wish if the society became active on all social media platforms, that is Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, so that the society and the community could engage continuously. So we sharing information about archaeology, keeping the society, keeping the public informed about what is trending in archaeology.
Hello everyone, my name is Imogen Grantham and I'm one of the students that won the Archaeological Society membership prize last year. I am 22 years old and I am a third year student at the University of South Africa, majoring in archaeology and anthropology. For me, as far as what I would like to see from the Society in the coming years, I really enjoyed my time on the field schools with UNISA in 2019, and this is something I would really like to do more of. Workshops on lab work techniques and excavation techniques would be something I would find very useful and very interesting. And I know a lot of my friends who are interested in archaeology as a hobby rather than a career would also be very inspired by these sorts of workshops.
Hello, My name is Gemma Poretti, and I'm currently doing my honours in archaeology and environmental science at the University of Cape Town. So I think the society could play a very important role in terms of sharing accessibly its crucial knowledge and ideas, and not just in sharing, but also learning from and gaining insight and perspective. So yes, I suppose what I would be keen to see is some kind of breaking down of this barrier between technical academia, technical archaeology, and the public society. And I think this is really where students could come in.
Hello everyone, my name is Lucy Richards in Bartley West at Northern Cape Province.
Right, and then let's try and get your presentation back up again as well. So just 1 second. And hope you can hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. And then I need to share. Let's do that one. Okay, and great. Okay, you can go ahead. I'm just going to get to the right page. I think you were on page, yes, just after the student prizes. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So well done again to the students on achieving that. And so for 2021. Something that I think is really important for us as students to remember is that we're sort of picking up the trowel from the archaeologists who came before us, and so it's really great if we can engage with each other and share ideas, because we are basically the future of the society. So some of the ways that I'd like to kind of engage students a bit more this year is through things like journal clubs. So at UCT, we've started a sort of a group that meets once a week, and we discuss papers and new research that's come out, and just kind of looking at what it takes to publish. It doesn't have to be necessarily new research, but interesting points that have been made in the past, what makes it a good paper, and then how we kind of move in our research. And then another idea is to do sort of like elevator presentations, almost like a FAME lab thing. So organized through the Archaeological Society, where we give students the opportunity to give really short, like 3-minute presentations about their research aimed at a layperson's level. So anyone on the street can understand what your research is about. And then the idea would be to kind of get other members of the society or post it on Facebook and ask people to vote on who they thought gave the best presentations. And then other things is like social media competitions. So for example, I'm part of the Spider Club of South Africa. So in the next slide is of a drawing that I made as a part of the competition. I don't think I'm going to get very far, but it was fun to do and to just take part in that kind of interaction. And so we're thinking of having some sort of fun competitions, maybe some online quizzes or things like that, to help you get involved in archaeology of South Africa and Southern Africa in general. And then in the next slide, there's also things like online seminars. So UCT does online seminars. I've sort of got them back up and going this year again. If you're interested in being added to the mailing list for those, you're welcome to send me an email and then I'll add you in. We've had some great talks about how heritage management takes place in developments such as the Parihadi Dam in Lesotho. And then we also had a talk on Monday, which was yesterday, about some work that's been done at the rock shelters in KwaZulu-Natal, like in Klatuzana. And then depending on how restrictions change this year, it would be great to do some outings to some well-known archaeological sites around Cape Town for the Western Cape branch. And students in other branches, you're welcome to also take the initiative and kind of talk to your branches and find out what's possible to arrange in your areas. and go and find out what the archaeology of your area is. And then again, depending on restrictions, the photo in the slideshow is quite an old one from when I was still working at the West Coast Fossil Park. There I created an image of the African bear, and I gave it to all the students. I think it was the grade 4 students at the local school, and they got to color it in, and we had a competition for the student who had the best coloring in or colored in picture of the bear. Their picture was made the main picture on a postcard, and then all the other pictures were put as a border on the edge of the postcard, and then we sold those in the curio shop. And then as a thank you to the school for taking part, we gave them a copy of the book about the West Coast Fossil Park and the fossils that were found there. And so there's ideas that we can come up with and think about for outreach, and might be possible. I know quite a few schools are interested in hearing from archaeologists, and we can maybe set up Zoom meetings and things like that. So there's definitely some ideas that we can think about. And yeah, so that's what I have to share from my side. And this is my email address. So if you have any ideas that you'd like to share with us and get the ball rolling with, please get in touch with me. We'd love to hear from you. Cool. Thank you. So I think the main thing to look forward to at the moment is basically the seminars are obviously really useful for getting just background into the archaeology and that. But we also are thinking, and there's an idea here for kind of, I want to say stash. We sometimes we used to call it, where you make hoodies and T-shirts and things like that. And we are looking for design ideas. And so, if the students would like to take part in a competition with designing that, it's something that's it's definitely on the to-do list. And I think. Definitely the social media competitions. We're going to be setting them up soon, and it's something. Check out our social, the Facebook page, and that for news about that. Um, I'm sure there are going to be some fun activities that you can take part in on that. So, yeah. And as I say, seminars with the UCT, we have students who give the talks in that. If you're interested in presenting on your research, please also get in touch and get in touch with your archaeology department representatives. At UCT, the postgraduate representative for archaeology is Malafeya. So send her an email. You can introduce yourself, and and she can also give you more information on student events that are taking place. At other universities, I'm not sure who your departmental reps are, but get in touch with them, find out what's happening, and share the news with the society. When you do something exciting, you can send me a little note and say, hey, we did this really cool outing to a site and I learned this. And we can put it into the news as well. So yeah, and get involved with your branches, see what their activities are, ask them why they're not doing talks if they're not organizing talks, see if there's something that you can also contribute there. So yeah.
Great. So I think I was on mute while I was asking for people to send us some questions a bit about the spam issues. So I'll just repeat that now that I'm off mute. So has anyone else who's in the audience, have any of you been finding those emails going to your spam or junk folders, or have any of you missing the 2020, the end of 2020 issue, which went out in January, that perhaps you didn't receive the email at all? So that's one of the questions I've got to you guys. And then maybe we get some comments from the audience also about the digital versions. Those of you who have received them, are you comfortable with viewing those PDFs, clicking on the links in the email to download them? Have any of you been experiencing any issues with that? So that'll be quite interesting to hear. And then perhaps also another thing is, are any of you, have you got any interest in the Instagram account that Natalie is setting up? Is this something that you would find beneficial to you? So perhaps it's another question to some of you in the audience. Please feel free to comment on those. So Patricia, you're part of the subcommittee. So one of the things, we talked about in the meetings was, that we're not looking to get rid of anything as such. So the bulletin will still be produced and the digging stick. And so the things that people are familiar with in the society, we're not losing anything. So it's more of a way of adding new things that might be of interest to other members. One of the things I saw in your presentation was this sort of outreach. And I was recently working with Justin Parketa with the Science Spaza series. So we've put a link for the other one that was released last year on the website. And if anyone is interested, there's another one coming out later this year featuring rock art. This is something that targets children of a junior age. These are printed workbooks that they then learn about archaeology. Is there anything that you, Patricia, that you think that people of the student body would be able to put together of that nature? I don't know if you're familiar with the Science Spaza.
Yes, so I'm also involved in helping with the design of that Science Spaza. So one of the cool things with that is that they also put instructions for an activity at the end. So for example, if they I think that the next one, or the radiocarbon one that you've shared, has a little bottle that the students can, or the scholars can add sand and sediment and put things in different layers, and then kind of get a feeling for how dating layers works. And I know that even kind of I go to the Durbanville Methodist Church, and I was asked by the Sunday school superintendent to give a presentation to the youth group about archaeology. This was pre-COVID, because people are really interested about learning about the past. And so I was able to give a presentation. And even at the schools, the parents are often looking for people that their children can talk to for careers and things like that. And so you can kind of put your name out as an archaeologist in your area, and you may be surprised at how many people actually want you to talk to garden clubs, bird clubs, different kinds of societies also want to hear about what archaeologists are doing. And I think, yeah, also soapbox events and things like that can be useful exposure to archaeology. And if we do these 3-minute elevator presentations and they get posted onto the Facebook page, that's also a form of outreach, because you're explaining what you're doing in a very simple way. And so people can then say, "Oh, I now know what an isotope is," or I now know how someone excavates, and I've learned that I'm not supposed to just pick up this stone tool, and I'm not allowed to just make a necklace out of it. It needs to kind of be properly labeled and preserved in a museum or in a good setting. And even as you're just kind of going on a hike with friends or something like that, it's not necessarily being in a set up environment where you're doing outreach, although those have their place and are useful. I mean, even the fossil park is always looking for volunteers. So if you want to learn a new skill, like sorting microfossils or how to give a tour to a group of people, there are places that are looking for guides and volunteers. And it's always a great way to interact with the public. And then you get challenged as well, because they ask you questions. You're like, I hadn't thought about that before. And so it is a way. So one of the things that I am thinking of doing, again, depending on how strict regulations are, is maybe going out. I spoke to Pippa when I was there a couple of weekends ago, and at the West Coast Fossil Park, and I said to her, would it be all right if I brought some students up to do some sorting? And she said, yeah, that would be fantastic, because they have, I mean, there's a storeroom full of boxes of microfauna, like little frog fossils and snake fossils and things like that. And so for Western Cape branch students, there's definitely an opportunity there to get some real life experience in how to work with the fossil material and what it means to label it, everything, and just get to know people who are working in the field. So definitely lots of ways to take part in the outreach thing. Yeah.
Thank you. So we have some points and questions that have come in. So there have been a couple of people who haven't received their digital copies. So I see Florentine and Lisa Ashley. So I'll if you guys could email secretary@archaeology.org.za, and you can CC me as well, nick.wiltshire@openheritage.org.za. It's without the K, nic.wiltshire, WILTSHIRE, or maybe I'll just post my email address here. Oh, no, I won't, because it'll be spammed on YouTube. But so just post us an email. Our details are on the website, and we will send you your digital SAABs. Then some people have received it in their spam folder, and I hope you've unmarked that as not spam, and that will then help it in future, that marking that email address is something you trust. I see Nani is keen on the Instagram account, so we'll try it out, and hopefully people find it useful. So I think that's all the points that have come in. Let's try another point before we wrap up. How comfortable do people feel with an online self-registration service? So it will take you to a link to a web page where you can fill in your details or update your details. Note that we still have a secretariat, so people who are not comfortable with these new digital tools will still be able to do things the older way, a phone call or an email. But, given the technologies and the costs and the delays with the post office these days, we've been trying to go digital as far as possible. Do people generally feel comfortable? Is there any discomfort? Anyone worried about something like that, where they can update their details? It's not something they'll have to do. Perhaps anyone wants to make a comment on that. I think that's about all I can think of for now. As I say, the new changes are imminent. We should have those new systems up and running before the next issue of the Bulletin. And we really, really hope it's going to reduce the amount of emails that automatically went to spam or not at all. We're not sure why some people haven't received emails at all. but we do suspect it's been blocked from the service provider's end before it even reaches your inbox. So hopefully we'll be able to fix that with the new system. But again, as I say, if all else fails, we will email you directly and bypass the bulk mailing system if you don't receive your digital copies. I think that's about it. I don't see anyone else budging on the chat line. So I think we're going to call it a night there, guys. And next month, we do have a talk on this second Tuesday of the month, as usual. And we have some very nice speakers lined up for you guys over the next few months. They are really great talks, so I hope we catch all of you in about a month's time. There's also been an interest shown to have more talks than just the one a month. So if any of you do like these talks, we are looking at that with people to record a session, and we can post these to YouTube at other times. And depending on where they are in the world, it may be a live session, it may be a pre-recorded session. But there's definitely been an interest shown into having more of these available for people to watch. So we apologize again for the technical problems we had this evening. Hopefully it wasn't too interrupted and we managed to get everything covered. And thank you to Patricia for attending the talk and giving her piece this evening about the student initiatives. Thank you, Patricia. And good night.